And a very warm welcome to Luss Church, this beautiful church in the bonny banks of Loch Lomond. I know you're going to have a wonderful time this afternoon, beginning with the service here in the church. I would ask you, you have to wear your mask. I'm sorry because the things go out on the internet and people will see it and it might affect other weddings. So everybody has to wear a mask except the bride, the groom and the minister. And there's no photographs to be taken and put on social media by the rest of the night. You'll see it all, you'll be able to see it all. So thank you very much for your cooperation, and I'm quite sure you'll have a wonderful time this afternoon. I saw it last night, which was absolutely beautiful. And that was the first time she's had a beautiful time. Good luck to you. And you look very
John, can I just say a few words? Just before the bride comes, can I just add my so it cheers the minister like me up greatly. One day the church can be sold again, if possible, by full pleasure service. Thank you very, very much for coming. I just say, you wonder, please look at me, you're looking at the bride and the groom, of course, here. Maybe you can hear me. Maybe you can hear me. Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. Anyway, I'll just say thank you so much for coming out in good numbers, because we don't get a lot of people at church anyway now. But you can imagine that this church, which has been here a long, long time, the Christian community here goes back almost as far as Christ himself. But it's a long, long time since there's been so many people out in this beautiful, beautiful church. It's a lovely, lovely church. The Church of Scotland doesn't normally have stained glass windows only, but this church has only got stained glass windows. In fact, in about 2 weeks' time, I think, a friend of mine who is a church historian is coming, and his service will be about each stained glass window. And it's a fantastic church to be in, and thank you very, very much for coming and enjoying it. I don't think the bride's here yet, so can I just say that what I was going to say, until somebody couldn't hear me, is that don't look too closely at me, because here's a word of warning to the men. If you're still shaving with an old-fashioned razor, hands up, men, if you're still going like this. Is that right? Have you all got electric razors now? Okay, right, okay. Anyway, I've still got an old-fashioned razor, and I must have stuck my bottom lip out, you know, just to see myself better. And I said to myself, am I as good looking as Alistair Stewart? And I said to myself, no. And as I stuck my bottom lip out to say no, I crooked it. Now, if there's one thing you know, man, to put a razor into, it's your lip. It bled for 2 solid hours. I went to the doctor and he says, I'm glad you've come, because he says, I'm going to have to open the wound a wee bit further. I'm going to try to glue it together to begin with. That was unsuccessful. Then he had to stick in stuff the champion right through the roof. I don't know what it was, but I suppose it was antiseptic stuff, and I knew it was antiseptic. But after I came down to the ceiling, he says, I'm going to try to glue your mouth again. And successfully, he glued my mouth the second time. You should have seen it this morning. My wife said, you cannot go to the service today looking like that. So what she did, she got a wee thing and she stuck it on. It's not very big, but it's noticeable. But then, if I don't see you, I'll be so happy. So, I know you'll be entirely over here. What's going to happen is that once the service is over, this area here Can you still hear me? A little bit. Right, on and off, oh dear. You can't actually sort of put them, I don't know what it is. It's maybe because now these services go out to the world. But I do know that really the microphone system is going to get, I think, improved a wee bit. But it's just to let you know that after the service is over, then there's an opportunity for you, if you want a nice photograph of those who will come up here for the signing and for, just being together, all those who are best men, all those who are right, then if you want a nice photograph, just go to where they're now beginning to stand, and that nice area there will be your area at the end of the service. Okay. So can I have my wish now? Thank you very much indeed. And thanks for letting me know that I'll have to speak out as clearly as possible. Thank you. Okay. John. I think this is this the best mic? No. Is that the best mic? Okay. Because we do read it. Is that the best mic? No. They're both not working. Okay. Right. It's just, if you think I'm shouting at the bride and groom, it's because I'm going to be shouting at the bride and groom, okay? I'll do my best. But when the readers come up, be very, very sensitive, be very, very patient with them, because it's two beautiful readings, and every word should be heard. But with the mics as they are, I'm not too sure. I think what we'll do is I'll have to stand beside the girls or the readers and just invite them to sort of speak into both mics at once. How impossible can you get? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, John. Thank you. This is the best one? The better one?
The sun has come out.
Hey, the sun's coming. The Brawley's a pot. Yeah, the Brawley's one.
Well, there's a joint effort with what you probably do is figure out what I'm going to do is Alistair knows that there's people so I'll put the name. Ashleigh, you are one beautiful bride. One beautiful bride. And Alistair, you are one lucky husband. To be. But then you've known that all the many years that you've been together. Stephen, you must be a very proud dad. And a greatly reassured one as well. Because although you're about to be son-in-law soon, is called Alistair, it will be good that Ashleigh has a Bobby in the house as well. It's usually the Bobbies who give us the once over, but you'll have done that to Alistair many times over, I'm sure. And so, Stephen, having done so, is it yours and Pauline's happy decision to give Ashleigh's hand in marriage to Alistair? Thank you very much indeed. And now we ask you to unveil the induction. And you give a recess. I think we should thank Stephen very, very much for that. Thank you very much. And now we're going to open our service by singing What Other and a Happy Day Than This Gives Me Joy in My Heart. So we open up our service by singing Give Me Joy in My Heart. We had a wee test with the microphone just before you all came in. Those will be involved in this. And for some reason, the microphones aren't just working as well as they could. So when it comes to your readings, and they're beautiful readings, I know that we'll give you help. I'll be holding a mic alongside the mic you're talking into to just give you that level up. But can you all hear me okay?
Yes. Yep.
I'll just swivel around so that I'm looking north, south, east, and west, okay? But mostly in front of me here. Christian marriage, like all marriage, hopes to be a lifetime commitment to what is fundamental to life together. It good thing about Christian marriage is that it's very realistic. It takes on board what life can be. But first, it is a commitment to the tenderness and the toughness needed within life and within marriage itself. And then it is a commitment to tomorrow's generations. And it's wonderful to hear so many of them here today. And it was lovely, a wee child in the back there, when I started singing, she got very happy. Is she a she? Is she a wee she? A wee he. What was a wee he? It's also a commitment to working together for the well-being of all people, the offering of what two can give over and above what one can give. Finally, it is a commitment to the Creator of life, without whom there would be no life, no each other to find and to fall in love with. And into this profound relationship, Alistair and Ashleigh desire to enter, but if anyone knows any legal reason why they cannot do so, you must say so now, or forever hold your peace. There's a few bobbies here, so you know. And it's okay for the wee ones just to be in, don't feel awkward about any crime. In that no one speaks, we ask God's blessing upon the promises and the vows soon to be taken. Let us pray. We believe it was you, O God, who drew Ashleigh and Alistair to each other's side. This then, here by Loch Lomond, is holy ground. Help them to feel your presence now as well as ours, your love as well as the continuing love of everyone dear to them. And this we ask on this sacred day. Amen. And now, just before they are bound together, let us sing with them and for them the next hymn, Bind Us Together, Lord, Bind Us Together. We stand again to sing this one before we get Now we come to not yet the vows but the promises. that the vows will be kept all the way through. Alistair, in taking Ashleigh to be your wife in Christian marriage, do you promise to be there beside her and for her, not only when prosperity blesses, but should any adversity challenge, and to be faithful to her for as long as life shall last? Ashleigh, in taking Alistair to be your husband in Christian marriage, do you promise to be there with him and for him, not only when life blesses, but should it challenge, and to be faithful to him as long as you both shall live? Thank you. Oliver and Jake are going to be the ones who come now and give the groom to be the two rings. Thank you. I wasn't at the rehearsal last night, so I'm just ready to be. But first of all, the vows. Alistair, would you say after me, please? I, Alistair, take you, Ashleigh, to be my much-loved wife. Okay.
I, Alistair,
Take you, Ashleigh,
take you, Ashleigh,
to be my much-loved wife,
to be my much-loved wife,
to have and to hold
to have and to hold
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
sickness and health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
for as long as life shall last.
for as long as life shall last.
This is my sacred vow.
This is my sacred vow.
Thank you. Ashleigh, would you say after me to Alistair? I, Ashleigh, take you, Alistair,
I, Ashleigh, take you, Alistair,
to be my much-loved husband,
to be my much-loved husband,
to have and to hold
to have and to hold
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
for as long as life shall last.
so for as long as life shall last.
This is my sacred vow.
This is my sacred vow.
Thank you. And now, in token of these promises and vows, these rings are given and received. And they've been given already to the groom and the bride. And so, Alistair, in giving Ashleigh your marriage ring, would you say after me to her, please? Ashleigh, may this ring always let you know
Ashleigh, may this ring always let you know
that I will love you
that I will love you
for as long as life shall last.
for as long as life shall last.
And now would you slip the ring in? Well, that's slipped on you. And now, Ashleigh, would you say after me, as you get ready to slip the ring on? Alistair, may this ring always let you know
Alistair, may this ring always let you know
that I will love you
that I will love you
for as long as life shall last.
for as long as life shall last.
Thank you. Just slip it on. In that you, Alistair James Stewart, and Ashleigh Norris have this day... Norrie. Can you all go out and come back? I always get my S's and my E's mixed up, right? Norrie. Can I start again? In that you, Alistair James Stewart, and Ashleigh Norrie, have this day made your sacred promises and vows, and have sealed them with the age-old signs of hand clasp and the giving and receiving of rings. In that you have done all these things to begin life together in marriage, I now declare you to be husband and wife, and whom God has joined together, let no one separate. And now can I give you an old Scottish blessing. Ashleigh and Alistair, may God make safe to you each steep place. May God make open to you each rocky place. May God make clear to you each road to take in your life. And may He always take you in the clasp of His own two hands. And now I know that everyone will want to give you their warmest congratulations, even a cheer. Thank you very much. And I think we'll be looking for you to give each other a wee kiss. It's my great honour to be with you today. An amazing letter came from Alistair. I just had asked them both just to sort of say a wee word about themselves. And Alistair sent me this amazing letter. And I realised that as a lobby, I never want to get booked by him because he's trying to write 3 pages and say this guy was speaking right now. Anyway, you're both, just a wee brief talk, you're both from very happy homes. Ashleigh and Renton, you grew up. I was there for 3 years at Renton Trinity and loved it to bits. With Dad Stephen, Mum Pauline, sisters Kellyanne and Caitlin, and brother Stephen. And Alistair, you grew up in Dumbarton, a man of the rock, son of the rock, with Dad David, and Mum Angela, and sisters Laura and Deborah, and the wee ones. And there in your childhood, you began to learn about life, and we thank the parents so much for all that you passed on, and the brothers and sisters. There your learning began, but boy, was there anything that you didn't learn. You both have had remarkable lives in your own way. You learn not just your school subjects, but you learn how to ski, how to love the outdoors, Pelican Trust. You became a hockey internationalist. You love singing. I'd love you to just sing a wee song. You're very, very, very good at friendships. The importance of the family to you was vital. And then you learned how to become a policeman. You say that with a wee smile on your face. And to become, I love this one, an air quality analyst.
Air quality analyst.
But here's what Alistair said you learn most of all. In this amazing letter that you wrote, you said, and I quote, "The biggest thing we learn is that we need each other." The greatest. Ashleigh and Alistair, just keep on learning that a mutual dependency is so vital, but also an individuality is so essential to be retained as well. There's an individuality that drew you to each other, and let that individuality always complement that coming together. Can we now pray for you? Thank you. Let us pray. We bless you, O God, for this sacred day. May its happiness and its holiness remain forever with Alistair and Ashleigh. May their marriage be lifelong and fulfilling, and may all they hope and plan for come to pass. And since we have to take the rough with the smooth in any human relationship, may any adversity be patiently borne, any arguments be quickly settled, any words of apology or even forgiveness be sincerely said, sincerely meant. And wherever life takes them, may the dwelling places of their journeying always be warm and welcoming, and all their neighbours be good neighbours as they will be to them. And may their friends remain constant and true as they will to them. We thank you, God, for every road that led today, the smooth ones, the rougher ones, but each one eventually bringing these special moments to us. We thank you too for everyone who meant and who still mean much to them, and remember especially for those close by in spirit, on earth or in heaven. Bless all of us, O God, on our journey through life. Help us always to be mindful of others and always to be mindful of you. For without you, there would be no life. But with you, life will be life in all its fullness. So journey with each of us, O God, and especially from today with Ashleigh and Alistair. Amen. Thank you very much. And now I invite our readers to come forward. Thank you very much indeed. Ask our readers to do is to be there for each other, so that as one comes to the microphone and just speaks into it, the other, if you don't mind, would you just come and just hold this microphone close by? We'll do a wee practice of this before you come. So the first reading, I love the choices here. Blessing for a Marriage by James Dylan Freeman, read by George. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Reverend. This is a blessing for a marriage by James Dylan Freeman. May your marriage bring you all the exquisite excitements a marriage should bring, and may life grant you also patience, tolerance and understanding. May you always need one another, not so much to fill your emptiness, but more to know your fullness. May you need one another, but not out of weakness. May you want one another, not out of lack. May you entice one another, but not compel one another. May you embrace one another, but not encircle one another. May you succeed in all important ways with one another and not fail and the little graces. May you look for things to praise often and say, I love you, and take no notice of small faults. If you have quarrels that push you apart, may both of you hope to have good sense enough to take the first step back. I will get there. May you enter into the mystery that is the awareness of one another's presence, not more physical than spiritual, warm and near when you're side by side, and warm and near when you're in separate rooms or even distant cities. Here we go for the finale. May you have happiness, and may you find it making one another happy. May you have love, and may you find it loving one another.
You have known each other from the first glance of acquaintance to this point of commitment. At some point you decided to marry. From that moment of yes to this moment of yes. Indeed, you have been making commitments in an informal way. All of those conversations that were held in a car, over a meal, or during long walks. All conversations that began with, when we are married, and continued with, I will, and you will, and we will. All those late night talks that included someday, and somehow, and maybe, and all those promises that are unspoken matters of the heart. All these common things, and more, are the real process of a wedding. The symbolic vows that you have just made are a way of saying to one another, you know all those things that we promised and hoped and dreamed. Well, I meant it all, every word. Look at one another and remember this moment in time. Before this moment, you have been many things to one another. Acquaintance, friend, companion, dancing partner, even teacher. For you have learnt much from one another these past few years. You have just said a few words that have taken you across a threshold in life, and things between you will never quite be the same. For after today, you shall say to the world, this is my husband, this is my wife.
Thank you very much. Before you go, can I just say that you've got a wonderful voice, and you're still young enough to apply to become a minister. And you've got a wonderful voice too, and you've got lots of years to apply to become a minister. But seriously, I don't know what it is with the police force, nor with air, with their goodness. But the church cannot get ministers at all. So much so that a lot of churches are going to have to close. We hope that Luss never has to do that. But the threat is there because we cannot get them. I went to Aberdeen University. There was another 3 colleges, universities, that also taught ministers. Aberdeen, Glasgow, Edinburgh, St Andrews. Very soon, so few will want to become ministers that only one university will suffice. So I just say this as a wee appeal that you come to one of the bonniest churches in Scotland today. We hope that you will often come back, as many do, after a day like this. But the young ones here, the slightly older ones here, if ever you feel that there might be work that will be more easily found, not easily perhaps worked out, but if you ever wondered what your life could be sure that if you got in touch with the headquarters in Edinburgh, they'd be thrilled to bits with your interests, and they would fill you in. And then places like this can continue. And so thank you very much. And I can see from Ashleigh that she's going to be the first one to get in touch with Edinburgh. Thank you very much. So we come to our closing prayers, and as I said earlier, we'll let the photographers have their say in the way. Thank you very, very much for all that you've been alerted to, just leaving the service as it is. And so we're going to be coming to the end, and at the end there will be the signing of the register here, and John, and we thank John so much for his fantastic playing. John is one of the best organists in the UK, never mind Scotland. So anyway, we're here today to get a husband and wife together. 5 signatures in black running ink are required. I've got to witness that, so have the witnesses. And then once the 5 signatures are all down, then that's hunky-dory. Down to the registrar you go eventually, you get your marriage certificate by way of return. After that signing is over, no doubt the photographer will want to simulate it again, but the invitation is there for anybody who would like to take any photographs of what's happening up here. This area that has been used by the bridal family, as it were, and that's free to do that. But in the meantime, we're going to bring our service to an end. The young ones will like this too. I danced in the morning when the world was begun. Let us sing the final hymn, I danced in the morning. you all like to stand, please? And the bridal party, the groom party, the husband and wife, a warm round of applause as they head out into life together, and then